Hey, this is Jared with the App Podcast. Today we're going to take a look at Total Baby, which is a new baby tracking software for the iPhone and iPod Touch. This app is very in-depth, so I reset the app so that we could start over from the beginning here. The only way to reset the app is to delete it, and so if you are entering actual content about your child in this app, you want to make sure not to delete this app and make sure you're doing backups on your iPhone so that way your information is safe. So we're going to go ahead in here and insert a new child. We're going to put in my godson here. Type in this information. Put in his birth date. If it's a recent birth date, like in the same year, you can just use the picker here, or you can switch to date time, because my godson is a little over a year old now. So I can save that. It'll give me a little bit of information. I don't know all of this specific information, obviously, so I'm not going to enter it. But you can enter weight, length, head size, blood type. You could type in what you know, and automatically it will be converted to one of these three conversion ratios here. So if you know the ounces, you could type that in. It would convert it to pounds, or show both. Head size, blood type, color. You can also set global settings on how the displays, the units are displayed, and also how the start and stop times for the timers that are built in as well. You can use twin timers for all children, and choose whether or not you want the photos that you take to be saved into your camera roll as well, which is a cool setting. So we've got one child set up here. We could really easily go over and set up a second one just by scrolling over. I'm going to do that really quick, because in order to see the functionality of the dual timers running at the same time, we're going to need the ability to have two children in here. So I'm just going to throw in some random information here. Okay, so now we're getting a description of what all of these areas do, which you'll see the first time you access this screen. So once you've taken a look at that, you can get away from it. In the middle here, you get a breakdown of all the events that have been entered for your child, all the information here, which you can scroll by date. You can click in the middle and view by any date that you'd like. You can email the child data for the last X amount of days over to an email address, which I think is really cool. That's a feature I did not find at first until I started clicking around. So we can go to a specific date or whatnot, or just view today. We can hit the back arrow to go back, and of course it'll only show days where there's actually data. So since we don't have a lot of data in here, we're not going to see a whole lot of data. So I could simply click here to add a new entry. We're right in the diary right now, so I can enter a title item, pretty much anything in here, add a photo, either take it from within the app or add it from our photo library. Add a title, put a date, add some notes to that as well. Hit done, and then hit save, and we've entered in a diary item. Milestones. All children have milestones. It's good to track that information. You can do that here. Those would be things like first word, first step, started crawling, sat up on his or her own, and stuff like that. We can also put in doctor visits, past and present doctor visits, so that we have that information logged in for each child. So now let's take a look at the timers that we have up here. We have our last change, so we can enter in our last time that the child was changed. We could put in some information that's kind of gross, but good to have. Should you need that information. Maybe your doctor wants to know, the stuff that your child's been putting out lately, so you can actually keep track of all that stuff and put it right from within the app right here. So add some information, some notes or whatever, hit save, and that's saved here into the diaper section. Simply scroll over, and we've got our other child, and we can add information about that child as well in this specific tab. Then we have our feedings here. We've got for left and right. This one is obviously for mommy, not for you, daddy. So you can run timers, and after you run the timers, it will remember which was the last time you fed from, or which side was the last time you fed from. You can also begin a timer for the other side and start that timer as well, and then either continue, round up to 1 minute if it was close enough, hit save, and now it shows that we've got the left side was the last side fed. There's specific information that you can also add for that in the description and the notes as well. You can add that specific detail. In the description we've got the type of hold. We can edit those descriptions and add custom ones should there be something else that's not listed that your infant is doing. Hit save. Let's go back. So we can have multiple counters going on at the same time. So say we're going here, and then let's go over to our other child, and if you're really a multitasker, you can have 2 timers going at the same time. We can then stop those. Let's round up there. Yep. Stop that timer. And cancel and go over now. So now we've got previous feeding time. If we go over and view, we've got also previous feeding time for the other child. It's also updated our entries here in the center. We can now put our child down for a nap and start those timers specifically for each child as well. So let's go ahead and run that timer, and while we're doing one child, let's go back over to the other and let's give this one a bath. So we've got this bath timer going on here, and we also have one child sleeping. So when we're done with the bath, we can of course stop this timer, but we could also just hit back. We've got both timers going now. If you scroll over, we see we've got the sleep timer going, less than 1 minute sleeping. We're also less than 1 minute into our bath. So we've got the ability to manage multiple things here in this application if you are in that stage in life where you're needing to multitask like this. So let's go back. Whoops, wrong child. This one's taking a bath. Let's stop that timer, round it up to 1 minute. Let's add a description. It was in a sink. Or we can edit and add our own descriptions. Save. Our other child is now waking up from his nap. Round up to 1 minute. Where was he sleeping? Slept in our bed. Hit save. Let's go back to the main screen. So now we've looked at all of that. We also have a custom timer which we could use for pretty much anything. So we could start that timer. We've got crawling, playing, sun exposure, watching TV, all that stuff. You could edit and add your own custom timers in there as well and add additional information should there not be something already listed in here that that you wanted to use. Of course, you could always scroll over to another child just by simply, sliding it over. Anytime you see the little dots right there means you could just zoom back and forth between children. We could have multiple children in this app, not just 2 at a time. We could have, I'm guessing, many, as many as you could probably handle individually, and use this app at the same time could be plugged into this app. So really cool what's going on here. We've got so much, and this is important information, and I guarantee you if you went to go look for a book or some sort of software program for your computer, you're going to spend tons of money on something like that, combined with how many stopwatches you'd need or timers that you'd need to pull all of this off. So now you can do all this stuff right from within your iPhone or your iPod Touch. Have a nice software to go back and look at previous things that your child has done and gone through, as well as if you need that information to provide to a doctor or something should your child be ill or whatnot. You have all of that information logged right here with you. Remember, always back up your phone when you are putting information like this in your iPhone or your iPod Touch. Always plug your iPhone or iPod Touch into your computer, sync it, make sure it's doing backup so that that information is safe, because if something was to happen to your iPhone or iPod Touch, anything broke, got lost, got stolen, this information would not be backed up if you did not back it up to your computer. So that's a very important thing to remember. So this app's only $4.99. It's an introductory price, they're saying. I'm not exactly sure what it's going to go to after that $4.99, but I guarantee you, even if it goes to $9.99, it is still worth worth the price for everything that it does. So Total Baby combines 11 separate tracking and timing functions into one complete solution. This is a must-have for all of you parents out there who have iPhones and iPod Touches. I could think of a handful off the top of my head right now. So definitely check out Total Baby in the App Store for $4.99, special introductory price. Take care, and we'll see you next time on the App Podcast.